So, I was talking to a client recently and I was trying to explain the differences between the American visa and the visa waiver program, and it took quite a long time to get the idea through. It occurred to me that ordinary people don't really have a good understanding about how visas work. So, in this video, we're gonna explain visa, electronic visa, visa on arrival, visa waiver, ETA, ESTA, what are the differences, definitions, history, and more. Remember to give it a thumbs up and comment below if you would like to see more videos like this. Hopefully, we can make it into a series on immigration fundamentals. Without further ado, let's go. Welcome back to Passport Planet, a channel all about the VIP. To understand all the visa types and variations, we need to first understand what a visa is. Broadly speaking, a visa is the prior approval to travel. However, this definition doesn't always work due to the inventive ways countries implement their visa policies. For example, as the name suggests, visa on arrival is a visa given out to foreigners after they have already arrived in the country but haven't passed the checkpoint. Therefore, strictly speaking, visa on arrival is not an approval to travel as much as it is an approval to entry. So just keep in mind that there are nuances in the definition. But in general, a visa is a way of controlling the inflow and outflow of the population by the government. Some of you might know that the word visa has its roots in Latin, meaning seen, because back in the days, if you want to travel, you have to actually present your papers to the embassy or consulate of your destination country for inspection. But I bet very few of you know that some countries took that word literally. For example, on this Jamaican passport from 1978, there are stamps that tell you the passport was seen at the American embassy. Although that seen stamp is not the equivalent of a visa, it was issued alongside a visa on the same day. I think it's a very interesting remnant of the original meaning of the word. By the way, if you want to check out that Jamaican passport, click the upper right or the link in the description. Inspecting every traveler's passport was not an issue until two things happened. One, the proliferation of affordable international transportation, which allows more and more people to travel. And two, power-hungry governments want tighter control over their borders, so they start requesting more than just passports. They want full application forms and supporting documents, which increases the processing time spent on each visa application. The combination of these factors places a heavy burden on the staff at those embassies and consulates. At the same time, overworking or increasing the number of diplomats is going to be very costly for the government. There are a number of solutions to this problem. The first one is that the government could waive the visa requirement from citizens of low-risk countries by giving them visa-free treatment and then focus their resources on visa applications from citizens of high-risk countries. After all, if people from certain countries have a 99% visa approval rate, then we might as well just let them all in and only deport those who have been proven to cause trouble. The second solution is to implement visa on arrival, which means moving the visa processing from embassies and consulates back into the country. This way, the government doesn't have to pay the expensive salaries and benefits for additional diplomats because now the visa applications are examined by local workers within the borders. And just like that, we have three basic forms of visa requirements. Keep in mind though, this is a rough generalization. Not every country offers all three categories. Some countries don't offer visa on arrival unless it's an emergency, such as China and the US, while other countries might do the opposite by having a blanket visa on arrival treatment towards every passport, almost every passport that is, such as Nepal. But either way, the exact options and procedures might differ significantly depending on a variety of factors, such as the traveler's nationality, destination, previous travel history, occupation, activities, etc. For example, many countries set up special regions that have more relaxed visa policies in order to attract tourists. Vietnam's Phu Quoc Island, South Korea's Jeju Island, Hong Kong, Macau, the Northern Marianas of the United States, are just a few examples of destinations that allow visitors from whom a visa will be required on the mainland. Another special policy governments often adopt is to give visa-free treatment to foreigners that already possess a visa from another credible jurisdiction. This happens in a lot of Latin American countries, such as Mexico, Panama, Bermuda, Costa Rica, Peru, Chile, and more. What they do is that they would allow visa-free entry if the traveler has a long-term visa from Canada, the US, UK, or Europe. So if your passport doesn't allow you to visit these countries visa-free, then instead of applying for visas to each of these countries, you might want to try getting an American or Schengen visa, which will serve as an endorsement and opens up the entire Latin America for you. Obviously, every country's list of recognized visas is different. Check before you go. Don't take this video for immigration advice. The reason for this is yet again all about money. Why spend the man-hours to examine visa applications if the traveler has already been vetted by another recognized jurisdiction? By now, you should be able to see the pattern here. For many countries, the visa policy is determined by the cost-benefit analysis. In most cases, having a tight visa policy can generate revenue from visa fees, but it could easily be offset by the costs associated with visa processing. On the other hand, allowing visa-free entry could be beneficial due to the increased tourism and business activities, but it could also be harmful for the potential socio-economic costs incurred by overstayers. This is where electronic visa or e-visa comes in. The application process for an e-visa is largely online. It's convenient for the applicant because they don't need to go to the embassy or consulate for interview or to submit their documents. But it actually saves the government a lot more time and money on handling the application. At the same time, they could still charge people the same amount of money for fees, if not more money. In 1996, Australia became the first country in the world that introduced electronic visa. For a standard product, which is government jargon for visitor visa valid for 1 year and allows a 3-month stay, the Aussies usually charge $145. This is absolutely exorbitant because by using automation technologies such as AI, the majority of visa applications are screened in a matter of seconds. There's no way that cost could justify the price. This makes travel visa one of the most monopolized and lucrative businesses in the world. According to the Home Affairs Department's own report, the total earnings from visa charges in financial year 2018 was close to $20 billion, while the department's total expenses was only $300 million. In case you're wondering, that's a 6,500% profit margin, making it the second most profitable business in the world, losing only slightly to Elizabeth Holmes. Parallel to e-visa, Australia also runs the ETA system, which stands for Electronic Travel Authorization. The ETA is just a fancy name for simplified e-visa. And just like e-visa, travelers still need to log their personal information onto an online system and wait for the approval. The information and documentation required for ETA is simpler than e-visa. However, the fundamentals are the same as anyone who doesn't have approved ETA will be refused to board a plane. Seeing that the ETA brings extra surveillance, it's no wonder that Uncle Sam took up the practice in 2008 as well. The only difference is that they call it ESTA, and it's an additional hoop you have to jump through and pay for if you hold a passport that's in the visa waiver program. Of course, the ESTA is not mandatory when you arrive in America via the land borders from Canada or Mexico, but for the vast majority of travelers arriving by air or sea, paying that $14 for ESTA every 2 years is unavoidable. This really sucks because you think the whole point of holding a good passport is so that you don't need to ask for permissions when traveling. Unfortunately, we're living in a global cyber surveillance regime that has the pathological urge to monitor every movement of the people. That's why the ETA, which is a de facto visa, has seen wide-range adoption in recent years. Canada, New Zealand, South Korea, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, and the Schengen zone all have their own versions of ETA, and I expect more countries to follow suit. If there's anything that sucks more than having to pay for ETA even when your passport was supposed to let you travel without a visa, then it's the fact that having a visa or ETA doesn't guarantee entry. To understand that, we need to get into the single visa system versus visa permit system. But that's the topic for another day. Again, if you like this kind of video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. I'll see you soon. Bye.